So thank you very much, BioStock, for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to present Iconovo. So I usually kick off presentation by showing this. Those are the people being our customers. 500 million people in the world suffer from diseases to the lung. That's mainly asthma and COPD. And this number is growing, and in many countries, especially developing countries, those diseases are underdiagnosed and probably much more higher numbers than this shows. The drugs used to manage those diseases sell for about $30 billion annually. And those are drugs, as I said, to manage the disease. You cannot cure asthma, you cannot cure COPD, you can manage the disease pretty well, and those are the drugs used to that. And the market is very asymmetric. Few blockbuster products have pretty much the whole market. So this is GlaxoSmithKline, AstraZeneca, Boehringer Ingelheim and Novartis are the big players, and they pretty much own the market. The rest are small brands. And what all these products have in common is that they are either off patent or becoming off patent in a short time. And normally in the pharma industry, when the drug comes off patent, the generics flow in, and the price plummets, and you have like 10, 15 generic products taking the market share. This is not the case when it comes to respiratory diseases. And the reason is that respiratory drug and inhalation drug comprises of two major parts. One is the drug in powder form in this case, and that's where you have the drug that you should get into the lung to manage the disease. But you also have an inhaler, an inhalation device that helps you to dose, deliver, and make sure that the drug is deposited in the correct position in the lungs. So you need a very, very delicate balance and cooperation between the drug formulation in the powder format and inhaler. And to develop this requires a multidisciplinary team, which is technically very challenging. And typically, generic companies don't have that capability in-house. It's only the big pharma companies that already have products on the market that have those skills. But if generics wanted to enter the market, they don't have that. So what are they facing if they wanted to enter the market? Long development times. To develop this kind of product takes 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It's a high cost, obviously, to spend this much time on developing, and also a very, very high risk. After spending 5 years and tens of millions, you don't really know where you have a product on the market. So this is very deterring hurdles for generic companies to enter this very lucrative market. So here we come in. Iconovo, we know how to do this developer. So we have our own devices that we have developed in-house. We have engineers and people doing the device development. We have formulation labs, formulation experts doing all the formulation development in-house in our labs. And we also have analytics, we have labs with all the equipment, skilled staff to do the development. So we have everything in-house to do the development of those very complex multidisciplinary development products. And the staff we have is very experienced in this area. Many of us has worked with 10, 20, sometimes even 30 years with developing inhalation products. So it's those very, very experienced staff doing this. So we do what we really do best. So by working together with us, the generic companies see this instead. Much, much shorter time to market. We invest in the development up to a certain platform level. Then the generic companies come in, partner with us, and just do the final adjustments to put the product on the market. This reduces the cost for them, and maybe most significantly, it reduces the risk, because before signing with us, they can do all the testing. We have prototypes, so we can do the testing, feasibility studies, you name it, in order to be sure that the risk is reduced and there is only a very well-defined and short development time to reach the clinical trial phase and then the market. So what do we have? We have several products already. So we have one inhalation device which is very similar in terms of operation and function to the AstraZeneca Turbohaler. We have a device which is similar to the Novartis products, and we also have one more which is intended to use instead of injections. I'll mention this a bit more later. Those products are protected by 6 granted patents, and we have about the same number still pending, but those are granted patents. And our business model is very, very simple. The generic companies that partner with us, we co-fund the development, the final development, so they pay us milestone payments to reach certain stages in the development. And after that, when the product's on the market, we get royalties. So for our partners, the cost is more of limited to development, the early cost. We make our money when the product's on the market and we get royalties. But that's more acceptable for our partners because that's when they get revenue, we get a share of that. So one of our major products, we have 2 major agreements signed already, and one is for making a generic version of AstraZeneca's Symbicort Turbohaler, and in that project we have already reached a clinical trial phase, so we have already completed what we call a pilot clinical trial. It's a PK study where we got really good results, even though it's very, very early in development. The product is not finalized yet, but we already got very good results, and we are very close to being equivalent already, so it's very, very encouraging. And last, I have 3 minutes, ICO1. This is a product which is not intended for generic products. This is intended to replace injections. This is a unidose device. This holds only 1 dose, a larger dose, about 50 milligrams, sealed and protected inside of the device. You peel off the aluminum strip sticking out, you peel it off, you suck on the device, you get the dose, that's it, and you can throw it away. And what we see a great benefit of that, opposed to injectable vaccines, is you see here, to give traditional vaccines, you inject it, so you need a syringe, you need sterility, you need trained medical professionals to do it, and also, you cannot read it, but it says store at from 2 to 8 degrees, do not freeze. You have the cold chain, you have to store the vaccine cold. If you have a dry powder, it's stable at room temperature, so you don't need to store it cold. And if you look at how vaccines are managed and transported and handled in the developing countries, this is here you see the disposal of the hazardous waste of used syringes. It's on landfills where people actually scavenge those to get used syringes to sell, and the cold chain is ice boxes carried around. So this is how it's used in practice. By using our inhaler, you have dry powder in a plastic inhaler, no cold storage and no hazardous waste. So just to sum up, last year in April we raised some capital and made an IPO on First North, and so we are well funded. We have a lot of cash to fund our development and to build the organization, so we're very fortunate with that. And we also have pretty good development on the stock exchange with increase in share price, and the market cap is about 350 million. Thank you.